Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today I want to invite you to take a 7-day challenge where you do your own diet analysis using a free online tool that I found. I think it's absolutely excellent. Why would you do this? Well, it can help you if you're wanting to lose weight, or you wanting to maintain your weight, or you want to even gain weight. It can help you because it's tracking your nutrient intake, your calories and so forth, so it can help you there. What about if you're not sure if your foods are meeting your actual nutritional needs, your vitamins and minerals, what I'm referring to here? It's very enlightening to track your foods for a week, and you'll see a trend there and find out if you're overabundant on a particular nutrient or you're consistently short on a particular nutrient. That can give you a clue if you need to go in and find what foods you need to eat more of or eat less of to help balance things out. If that's not doable for you, it helps to guide you on what vitamin or mineral supplements you should be taking so that you know that you're getting the right amount of nutrients that you need for your health. Now, why else would you do this? Well, if you want to improve your diet and you just don't know where to start, this can give you some clue, because if you see that you're consistently short on a particular nutrient, then you can go online and look up what foods are high in this nutrient. That tells you what foods you might want to have more of in your diet. And why not give it a try? It's free. Okay, I'm going to take you to my computer and show you how to get started. To get into this online tool, you'll need to go to your favorite internet browser, and then you want to type in the URL cronometer.com, and it's going to take you to this initial page. And then what you'll want to do is click the button that says sign up for free, and when you click that, it's going to take you to a page where you enter your email and a password, and of course confirm the password, and then you enter in your biometrics, which would be your gender, your age, your height, and your weight, and that will be important information for them to use to set up your account. And then once you click enter, then they're going to send you an email, and it'll have a link in there that you will need to click to confirm your account, and it's very simple. So then once you confirm your account, you're actually in the opening page, and I will go ahead and log in and show you what that looks like. The wonderful part about Cronometer is once you log in, it will keep you logged in and day out, where you don't have to re-enter your information unless you choose to log out. If you're using your own device, you don't really need to log out, but if you're using a public computer or someone else's computer or device, you'll certainly want to log out. Now, they have upgraded me to a gold plan, so there's a couple things on my page that you won't see on yours. You won't have a calendar on yours. You'll have an ad here. You won't have these categories here. So we're going to kind of ignore some of these things and just go straight to what you will see. Now, first thing you want to do is enter in any foods that you've eaten. You can also enter in exercise. You can also add in notes that will appear in this box here, which is where the foods that you enter in are going to show up. And by doing this, adding a note, you can break your foods up into the categories like breakfast, lunch, and supper. You don't have to do that, but if you're going to go back and refer to what you've eaten, it makes it easier. So let's go ahead and add the note for breakfast. So I'm going to start here by just showing you how to enter some foods in. And you want to go to the tab that says Add Food. So now I'm not going to necessarily enter in what I eat, just random food here. Let's just say oatmeal. And you can see I've got a recipe in there that says usual breakfast with oatmeal. We'll get into that in a little bit. But let's just say regular oats, dry. Let's just start with dry. And let's just go with a half a cup. And then you want to add that. And then, of course, I like to cook my oats, and many people will cook their oats. So that's dry oats. We've got to add something. So we're going to add water. And for a half a cup of oats, you usually use a cup of water. And let's just say we put a banana in there. When you're choosing foods and entering foods, you have a long list to choose from. And the best thing to do is choose the closest match you can find. A lot of times you can find exactly what you want. Sometimes you won't find exactly what you want, but you'll need to enter the closest match. And remember that this is an estimate. This is not exact. It won't be unless you're in a laboratory where all of your food is weighed. Now let's just say we chase that with a cup of coffee. Prepared from grounds, 1 large cup. Okay, we'll go with that. Now let's say mid-morning we got hungry and we wanted a snack. We'll type in the word snack. And what did we have for a snack? Let's say we had an apple. An apple fresh with skin. There you've got a raw red delicious apple with skin. There's all sorts of things down here you can choose. We'll just say a generic apple with the skin, 1 medium. Okay. Now, you get the gist on how to enter in foods. Now let's say there's a food that you eat on a fairly regular basis, and there's a number of ingredients in this food, and you can take a step where you can add this food as a recipe, and then when you go to type it in, you don't have to enter all those individual ingredients. So let's go up here to the tab that says Foods. I'm going to add a recipe. You see I've already got some recipes in here that I use, but let's add a recipe. And the first thing you want to do is name it. Let's just assume this is a usual smoothie that you like to have. Okay, now we're going to just call it usual smoothie. You can call it whatever you want. Now, you have your choices here. We're going to assume that this is serving based and not weight based. And we're going to type in the ingredients for 1 serving. So now we're going to ingredients. And let's just assume you use almond milk. Whoop. Alright, we've got almond milk, plain, unsweetened. It comes up with a cup. You can change that, but let's just assume you add a cup of almond milk. And then you want to add another ingredient. Let's assume there's a banana in there. A lot of people add bananas to their smoothies. 1 raw banana, there we go. Now let's assume we've added some spinach to that. Raw spinach, there we go. A cup of spinach is probably more than we normally add to that. Let's say a half a cup, which is still pretty generous on there. And now let's say maybe we've added some blueberries to there too. Blueberries, frozen, unsweetened. There we go. A cup, that's probably a lot. Let's go with 1/4 of a cup. I don't know. It's whatever amount you want in there. And okay, we'll just say that that's what we normally put. Oh, let's add 1 more ingredient. Let's go with flax meal ground. Okay, we've got Bob's red meal flaxseed meal ground, and their usual servings would be 2 tablespoons. We'll just go ahead and add that. All right, there's all of our ingredients for that smoothie. If you scroll down on the page, you will see all the nutritional components that are in that smoothie. It's really a great endeavor because you can learn a lot about it. Almost 234 calories in there, and then it's got an array of protein and vitamins, minerals in there as well. It shows you the fat content and all that. And you've got a little nutrition facts panel up here as well. When you're finished entering your ingredients, then you can go up here and save the changes. Now you've got your recipe called usual smoothie. So now let's go back to the food diary, and let's say we want to add a food, and at lunchtime let's say we had our smoothie. We want to go over here to the custom tab, click that, and find your recipe that says usual smoothie. There it is. One full recipe. There you go. If you had a double dose that day, you could increase it to 2 or 1.5, whatever, but one full recipe. There we go. Now, just to make this shorter, for the sake of demonstration, we're going to assume that's all the food for the day. Now, obviously, that's not enough food for any one person, but we're just going to assume all of our food has been entered. Now, what you can do is look down here, and you're going to see all the nutrients that you consumed for that day based on the food that you've entered. And if you're wondering where that nutrient came from, you could mouse over the percentage of your intake of that particular nutrient, and it's got a little box there that shows your vitamin A. A lot of it, 86%, came from the usual smoothie. Some of it came from the apple, and some of it came from the banana. Let's say your niacin is at only 27%. Where did that come from? The usual smoothie, coffee, bananas, a little bit of everything that you ate there. So this tells you where your nutrients actually came from. If you're wondering how much of a nutrient you really should have, you can go over to the name of the nutrient and left click one time, and it will show you the minimum, the maximum amount that's recommended for that particular nutrient based on your height, weight, gender, and all that. If you know what you're doing, you can go into the box and use custom values instead of the RDA if you want to. At this point, I don't recommend that you do that unless you really know what you're doing and know that your needs are a little bit different. Another thing that you can do is, if you want to know how a particular food contributed to your nutrients that are listed there, you can highlight a particular food. Let's just look at the oatmeal, and I'm going to left click one time, and that highlights that food. Then you can go down to the nutrient list, and you'll see all the nutrients, the vitamins, minerals, protein, fats, carbs, everything that oatmeal supplied. If you scroll over the manganese, you'll see it provided 1.5 milligrams, 81% of the manganese that you need for that day based on your height, weight, gender, and all that, which is pretty good for one food to fill that void. And then, of course, on your nutrients as well, it gives you the percent of the calories that you've gained from that particular food. Over here, you're going to see some bars that pop up, and this tells you the amount of calories that you consumed for that particular day. Now, to get back to the normal view, all you do is go back up here and click it one time with the left mouse button, and that returns everything back to normal. Now, let's say you've exercised a little bit for the day. Let's click Add Exercise, and let's say in the morning you did some walking. And there's different options, a lot of options here that you can choose. Let's say you walk to work or to class, and it took you, let's say 15 minutes to get there. You can enter in the time frame and add. Now, let's say later on in the day you did a little bit of something else. Let's say you did some calisthenics, sit-ups, abdominal crunches, light effort, and you did it for 30 minutes. You can add that in. And then let's say later on in the day, maybe you walk the dog. Let's type that in. Okay, and it's got walking the dog. And you did it for 30 minutes. That's the default. You can change that anytime you need to. Now that shows the exercise that you did for the day. And of course you could also add a note and put exercise and then put that under that category as well. And it shows you how many calories you've taken in versus how many calories you've burned. And that includes the exercise plus your normal metabolism as well. And again, another thing that you can use this for is to monitor your nutrient level. Let's assume all of your food for the day is entered in, which looks pretty pitiful here because we really didn't. But when you enter in for a number of days and you see that one nutrient is consistently low, let's pick on zinc here. Let's say zinc is consistently low. What you can do is scroll over, just mouse over the percentage here, and it's going to tell you what foods contributed to your zinc. One thing that you can do is also, take a note of the foods that you're eating and where your zinc is coming from, and know that you're not eating enough foods with zinc. So then you can go to the internet and do an internet search. What foods are high in zinc? Explore those foods. Maybe you need to add more of those foods to your diet to balance this out. If you find that these foods are not right for you, you either don't like them, it's not in your meal plan, you can't eat them for whatever reason, or you don't want to eat them for whatever reason, then you'll probably need to take a supplement to make up for that so that you know you're getting an adequate amount of zinc in your diet. Let's assume that that's the case, that you find that, hey, you just can't eat enough foods with zinc in there and you're going to take a supplement. Can go up here to add food. You found a supplement that you want to take and you want to type in zinc. Whoop, we want to go to all foods. Sorry about that. Alright, we've typed in zinc, and now you're going to find a lot of zinc supplements that you can choose from. Now, what if you have a particular brand and you're looking for it in here and it doesn't show up? Now, they've got a lot of brands to choose from. You just find the closest match. Let's say you've got some other brand of zinc and this says GNC zinc 30 milligrams. You can't find the brand that you take, but the zinc that you bought has 30 milligrams in there. You could use that, one tablet. Or let's say the zinc that you bought has 15 milligrams and the only thing, the closest match, well, there's a 15 milligram there, but let's say you can't find it and you see this 30 milligrams, you can go 0.5 tablets and that'll give you an equivalent to 15 milligrams in there. You can scroll down here and all of a sudden you see that your zinc is where it needs to be, actually double where it needs to be for your height, weight, gender, and all that. So this will tell you if you are meeting your needs through your food. So I suggest that you always start with foods first to see how your foods are or are not meeting your particular nutritional needs. If they are not, you'll know that you need to either eat more foods with those nutrients in there or look to supplements to balance them out. So this is a great learning tool that can help you really fulfill your vitamin, mineral, nutrient needs in many, many ways that go well beyond just like a food plate or a food pyramid or whatever. This really goes beyond that. It's a valuable tool. When you have entered everything in for the day, you can go up here to these three dots and mark the day as complete. That's great, wonderful. But let's say, oh no, I'm getting hungry, I want a snack. You can also go up here and mark the day as incomplete, add that extra snack in there or a glass of water or tea or whatever it is you want, and then go back and mark it incomplete. If you forget to mark it incomplete, no big deal. When the next day arrives and you enter Cronometer, this day is going to appear in this box over here based on how many calories you've consumed and so forth. And this slate is going to be clean. So it's going to be ready for you to start the new day. And you can always go back to the prior days and refer to what you've done on those days. But this is an excellent tool to figure out if you are meeting your nutritional needs through your foods and telling you what supplements you are going to need to make it right. So I encourage you to do this. This is a valuable tool for anybody to do. Now you'll also see that there are some other options here as well. There's trends. If you click on that tab, it's going to show you trends of your nutrient intake over time. Now it really focuses on fats, carbohydrates, and proteins in general. The foods I showed you where you could enter your own foods. Settings, this has to do with your login information and plans. They have a variety of plans that you could pay for if you wanted to, but I think the free tool is a great starter for anybody, and most people really don't even need to go beyond that. It's just a fabulous way to help you track what you eat and know if you are eating what you need to be eating. Do let me know below if you have any questions or comments on using the software. If you've actually completed 7 days worth of diet analysis for yourself, let me know some feedback. I would love to know how you benefited from this activity. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Bye for now.